Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. My name is Jack and this is your latest Manchester United news. And we've got a busy show this morning. Liam Delap has chosen Chelsea according to Ben Jacobs. So we're going to talk about that and what does it mean for Manchester United's pursuit of a striker in the summer. We've got updates as well, guys, on Marcus Rashford's potential move to Barcelona. He has had representatives in the city of Barcelona in the last 24 hours meeting the club. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And Jadon Sancho, finally, guys, we've got updates on him. Is he potentially going to return to Manchester United? They won the Europa Conference League last night. What does that mean for the future of the player? Will he stay at Chelsea? Will he come back to United? Please do smash a like in the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's jump right into it. As always, thanks for tuning in, guys. Please do get your comments in below as well. We're going to start, of course, with Liam Delap. And reports from Ben Jacobs coming out yesterday have said that he is closing in on a move to Chelsea after positive talks with the club. Manchester United's lack of European football has weakened their position. And we spoke about this yesterday, didn't we? That, you know, where do Manchester United go if Liam Delap doesn't sign for us? And it was always understood that Liam Delap was maybe the option that United will go for if we don't get European football. And it, of course, has emerged that he wants to play in Europe, and now Chelsea can offer him that. They are in the Champions League next year. And it's a big shame. Now, again, look, nothing is signed, sealed and delivered as of yet. But these reports coming out now are starting to come out from more and more top-tier journalists. And, of course, Ben Jacobs, maybe while he's not tier one, he's certainly a good, reliable source, it's got to be said. And Fabrizio Romano has given his update as well, guys. He said Chelsea and Manchester United keep insisting on Liam Delap. Delap is the priority for Chelsea. Them being able to offer European football is crucial, as Manchester United can not. And again, you know, getting back to Manchester United here, and, you know, if he does sign for Chelsea, where do we go? What moves do we make? Who do we sign as a striker? You know, it's quite clear that we will get a striker this summer. But where's that striker going to come from? Do Manchester United now have to throw maybe silly money at a Victor Osimhen or a Victor Gyökeres if they even want to come to Manchester United at all? And the lack of European football is absolutely vital here, isn't it? It really, really is. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have the answers, to be quite honest with you. And you know, any Manchester United fan that does is probably lying to you, to be quite honest with you, because, yeah, I mean, Liam Delap going to Chelsea, you know, if he does leave, or if he does head in that direction, is detrimental to Manchester United trying to get a striker in the door. Now, you know, what could we offer Liam Delap that Chelsea can't? Obviously, the Champions League football is number one priority for an awful lot of players. But I think maybe what Manchester United could offer him, maybe that Chelsea couldn't, is if he came to United, he would be guaranteed to be our first choice striker. You know, he really would. If he goes to Chelsea, he is going to be maybe fighting it out for that position between him and maybe Nicholas Jackson. And, you know, maybe watching Nicholas Jackson last night in that final, albeit he scored, I think Liam Delap will fancy his chances of being the number one for Chelsea next season. But again, I think that's the only real pull now that Manchester United have. You've got to sell the vision to any player that comes in. And we've seen Matheus Cunha sign for, or, well, you know, pretty much want to come to Manchester United without European football. And that's down to maybe the project being pitched to him. And if we are going to sign somebody like Liam Delap or anybody else whose initial, I suppose, priority is to play Champions League or European football at all, then, you know, we've got to become very creative in how we maybe pitch the idea and pitch the, you know, the project to any player that signs. But look, as it stands, Liam Delap to Manchester United is getting further and further away, and Liam Delap to Chelsea is getting closer and closer, and it's a big concern. Again, I mean, I'll go back on what I said yesterday. I do think we will sign a striker. I worry about what kind of striker we will get now. And we said early doors, we've said it up until, you know, as far back as maybe 3 or 4 months ago, that it's going to be a striker market this summer because everybody is looking for one. Chelsea are looking for one. Arsenal are looking for one. We're looking for one. Liverpool could probably be looking for one if they move Darwin Núñez on. And that's just within England. So it is a striker market and they hold all the power, to be quite honest with you. They can pick and choose where they go. and there's not too many of them around. So that's the concern for Manchester United. Going to be a big summer and a big couple of weeks, guys, in relation to where Manchester United move now if Liam Delap does go to Chelsea. But the start, the starting pursuit of a striker so far is not looking good. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, guys, next up, let's talk about Marcus Rashford and a potential move to Barcelona on the cards. And the last 24 hours or so, we've seen reports come out suggesting that there are ongoing meetings between Deco, who is the football director at Barcelona, and Marcus Rashford's agent in a hotel in the city of Barcelona. Yes, this was yesterday morning, or yesterday around lunchtime or so. And Fabrizio Romano has given us an update as well, guys. He has said that he was already keen on joining Barcelona last January and remains very keen on the project. Positive feelings on the player side again after a new meeting, but still early stages club to club. Barcelona have more options, plus Man United are insisting on a £40 million fee. Now again, Barcelona have got 2 or 3 different options for that position, Marcus Rashford obviously being one of them, and reports have come out this morning that have thrown a little bit of a spanner into the works from a Manchester United standpoint more than anything else, and this is coming out of Spain as well. It says Marcus Rashford is willing to take a considerable pay cut to join Barcelona. Barcelona are looking for a loan move with Man United covering a small part of his salary. Barcelona believe it would only be possible if Rashford puts pressure on United and keeps rejecting their options. Now, this is a big concern for Manchester United. Barcelona putting pressure on the player and on the player's agents to push for a loan move out of Manchester United, and this does not benefit us at all. It really, really doesn't. And the reason being is that we need money in the door. We really do. And I continue to say about these loan moves, I'm not a fan of them at all. Now, there are certain circumstances where you have to go for a loan move, but a loan with maybe an obligation to buy, like we had with Jadon Sancho, who we'll get onto in a few minutes. But we've got to get Marcus Rashford gone out of Manchester United. He's already had a loan move from January to the end of the season with Aston Villa. We cannot do another one. We've got to get him off the books as quickly as possible, because salary-wise, if Barcelona are pushing for a loan move and we're covering some of his salary is huge. It's like paying for, if we're paying 1/3 of his salary, that's like having, 120 grand a week player on the books with us. So it's just not feasible in my eyes. And the big issue here is that we want to get money in the door for this rebuild, and Marcus Rashford is one of the players that can generate some decent money for us, so we can go out and reinvest that into the playing squad and get players in. Loan moves slow everything down when you're trying to go through a rebuild like this. So I'm adamant on this, that Manchester United should not and probably will not look to loan Marcus Rashford out. Now, if pressure becomes and he wants to go to Barcelona, but Barcelona are only willing to push for a loan, then again, this will, I suppose, only strengthen what we said yesterday, that a potential move away from Manchester United for Marcus Rashford could drag on long into the summer transfer window. And that's a big area of concern here. But I think Manchester United hold an awful lot of the power here. And the reason I say that is that Marcus Rashford is desperate to get out of Manchester United. He knows if he stays, he is not going to get a sniff at that first team at all. He didn't get it under Ruben Amorim from the second he walked in the door. So what would change if he did decide to stay, past this summer? Marcus Rashford is going to be thrown away, a season of his career, 12 months of his whole career. So, look, I think Marcus Rashford is going to be pushing for this move just as much as Manchester United are going to be trying to get rid of them. And if Barcelona want him, I mean, the concern there is that Barcelona will go, well, all right, well, look, if you're not willing to take a major pay cut, or you're not willing to maybe push for a loan with Manchester United, then we'll just move on and speak to other options. Again, I can see this Marcus Rashford stuff dragging on. It's either going to get done really quick, or it's going to drag right on into the summer, because Marcus Rashford could potentially go to Barcelona. Look, I'm willing to take a pay cut down to 200 grand a week. And they go, brilliant, we get a deal done, 40 million, there you go, job done, happy days. Or Rashford will go, no, I want 275. And they'll go, right, well, we're going to look for a loan move. So go back to Manchester United, and it drags on and so on and so forth. Look, I think it's very important that regardless of how long it takes or who he goes to, Marcus Rashford leaving Manchester United has to happen this summer on a permanent basis. It's got to happen. It's over between United and Rashford, and he is one of them players that we can realistically look to get some good revenue in the door for, to reinvest into the playing squad and to get the ball rolling on this rebuild. But let me know what you think, guys. Do you think Marcus Rashford, do you think the saga is going to drag on into the summer? Let me know in the comment section below. And finally, guys, let's talk about Jadon Sancho. Obviously, Chelsea have won the Europa Conference League last night, and again, you know, Maresca was speaking in the past couple of days about the future of some of these players, and of course Jadon Sancho is top of that list. And what's going to happen, we know that Chelsea have an option to pay Manchester United $5 million to send him back. And, you know, when you think about it, it's absolutely crazy. You know, you loan a player out, there's an obligation to buy in the contract, but the obligation to buy is not a real obligation. You can pay us $5 million just to send him back. And, you know, I mean, what must Jadon Sancho feel to, you know, when the club he's playing for could potentially pay $5 million just to not have him, you know, and that just goes to show maybe the heights he's fallen from in terms of his playing career. Now, he was asked last night on BBC after the match, he was being interviewed about, you know, a potential return to Manchester United, and he did say, I'm not coming back to Manchester United. And look, I think it's quite clear that he will not be at Manchester United next season. Absolutely, he will not be. Now, he could be there. You know, there could be a scenario where he does have to return to United for a short time, you know, when his loan ends at Chelsea, and if they decide to pay the $5 million to send him back, then he does come back. But United are going to try and move him on as quickly as possible. I'm concerned about this one, I won't lie, because I would rather get the £25 million up front for him and just cut our losses. You know, again, the concern here is taking somebody like Jadon Sancho back. Okay, you're getting $5 million in the door, but how long is it going to drag on into the summer where you're trying to move him on? What kind of teams are going to be in for him? You know, is he going to be willing to lower his salary to go to a lower tier club? Again, these are all things that have to come into consideration when trying to move a player on. And all of that does is it slows down the whole process. The one thing I do not want to see with Jadon Sancho is if Chelsea decide to send him back to Manchester United and pay that $5 million. The one thing I do not want to see is, oh, would he fit a Ruben Amorim? Would he fit into Ruben Amorim's system in that inside 10? I think he could, and maybe he should get a chance to try and regain his place under. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And another thing I don't want to see is, I do not want to see him go on pre-season tour. If he comes back to Manchester United because Chelsea decide to pay the $5 million, we're trying to get rid of him. Do not bring him on pre-season tour. Leave him and say, look, you are not involved in the first team squad, okay? Go and find yourself a new club. Get your arse out of Manchester United. Put pressure on your people, on your representatives, on your agent to find you a new club. You are not coming on pre-season. You're not in our plans. I would rather have a young player like Moorhouse or Fletcher or, you know, Sekou Kone, whoever the case may be, Chido Obi, to get that spot going on pre-season tour, because they're the future of the club and the potential future of the club. Jadon Sancho isn't. So it's going to be an interesting couple of days, and I think we'll find out relatively quick about whether he will come or stay at Chelsea, come back to Manchester United or stay at Chelsea. But again, I think, 99.9% of the fan base are, hoping that he doesn't return. And you do always have, that 1% or the 0.1% of people who, support a club that a certain player plays for. And Jadon Sancho kind of falls into that bracket, the fanboys, I like to call them. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But like I said, get him gone, and get him gone as quickly as possible. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about everything. Smash a like in the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We will be back tonight from 9 o'clock on YouTube as well with the United Community Podcast. We've got a full house tonight. Chris, Oisin, Ben and Desi are all with us tonight, so make sure you're tuning in for that. We've got plenty to discuss in terms of transfers. We'll go through all of these talking points in depth as well, and any breaking news that we've got between now and then. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I'll chat to you tonight. Take it easy. Bring the glory days again. We're back from the strength and it's in the rest around.